Welcome to Crossroad Connection. We're speaking out for those left unheard. My name is David Schuringa. I'm the president of Crossroad Bible Institute and the host of your program, Crossroad Connection. I have in the studio with me today a very special guest, Dr. Stephen Mansma. Dr. Mansma is a senior research fellow at the Henry Institute for Politics and Christianity.
That's right, at Calvin College.
At Calvin College. So welcome to the program.
Well, it's good to be here, David.
Yes, well, we feel very blessed to have you here, a man of your notoriety. You taught political science at Calvin College for many years, correct?
For many years, and also at Pepperdine University in California for quite a few years.
Right, and then also you have a political career behind you as well for about 10 years here in Michigan, correct?
That's right. This is quite a while ago now, but I was a member of the Michigan House and then the Michigan Senate.
Right.
So I have both the political science background, but also I'm sort of an activist streak to me. So at one point I wanted to get out of the classroom and actually do what I was talking about.
Ah, okay, you bet. Well, because sometimes they say those who can do and those who can't teach, right? Sometimes, but you can do and teach.
Well, we tried both at least.
Well, I invited you on the program today because I want to talk to you about the death penalty. And
Okay.
you've done some writing about that and a lot of thinking about that. The occasion, of course, is that we have students that are on death row, but particularly recently, a CBI student by the name of Kimberly McCarthy was the 500th person to be executed in Texas, and she was a CBI graduate. And a student, even though we have 45,000 of them, they still feel a bit like family. We saw in her record that she did a tremendous job in her lessons. Her instructors all spoke very highly of her work. And I know there's all kinds of naysayers out there to talk about jailhouse religion and so forth. But still, her confession was that even before she died, before she was killed, she was said that God is good, and she expressed a love for Jesus Christ. And of course, Texas is a state known for executing quite a few people, though I think it's going down. Let's talk about the death penalty. What's your take on it?
Well, I'm very much opposed to the death penalty. To take a punishment which by its very nature is irrevocable, obviously, and to link it with a criminal justice system which is necessarily flawed. All human institutions are flawed. They make mistakes, they can introduce bias in how they are carried out. So to link that irrevocable punishment with a flawed criminal justice system, I think is very unwise. Since DNA testing came in, there are 18 persons who have spent some time on death row who have been exonerated following DNA testing.
They were innocent.
Exactly. And beyond that, people less frequently recognize that there are biases in the way we exercise the death penalty in those states that have it. If you are well-educated, wealthy, can go out and hire an expert defense attorney,
You won't be on death row.
you're very unlikely to end up on death row. Typically, you have the less well-educated, the poor, those who depend upon court-appointed attorneys, et cetera. So there's a bias in how we carry it out, as well as there's a whole problem of possibility of error in executing innocent people.
Now, let me just be a devil's advocate here a minute, because I'm sure there are people watching who think the death penalty is okay, right?
Sure.
So we need to be able to answer them, right?
Yes.
Now, there are a large number of people on death row. The greatest, are people of color and people who are poor, so forth. So someone's bound to say, and this has been said to me, that African Americans kill more people. They commit more crimes. That's why there are more of them in prison and on death row. How would you answer that?
Well, in fact, you look at the statistics, I think the racial element isn't the big bias that's in the system. It's a matter of poverty, lack of
It's economic
education.
and education.
And you find many white persons who are on death row who come from a very poor background, poorly educated. Some of them, suffered at least mild retardation, et cetera. And so it cuts across racial lines.
So it's an economic and educational issue, you think, more than a racial issue?
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, another important element in my thinking, though, which I think we do have to add to the mix here too, David, is that there is an alternative to capital punishment. You know, I believe somebody who has taken another human being's life should be punished. I believe in justice. Justice demands that there be some punishment. And frankly, if the only alternative was executing someone or letting them go free, well, it might change my opinion a bit on capital punishment. But obviously, there is an alternative, life imprisonment. And as long as we have that alternative available, which I believe meets the demands of justice, that also then leads me to conclude we ought not to have capital punishment.
Okay, I want to talk more about that issue of justice with capital punishment. But another objection, or someone that might be watching, I've had this said to me too, that okay, sometimes an innocent person has been killed or executed, but that's collateral damage, which that word has been used. That's collateral damage. Like in wartime too, innocent people get killed. It's something that just happens, but we shouldn't let all the guilty ones live because of some collateral damage. Any response?
Well, I come back that the collateral damage isn't necessary. I mean, by definition, I think collateral damage is persons who you did not intend to kill, who did not intend to run into various problems, but yet inadvertently, by mistake, by error, they did. But with the fact of life imprisonment that I mentioned a moment ago, there is an alternative to taking someone's life by the government, by the state in the form of capital punishment. So I don't think that there's any need to actually for the state to execute people, because there's an alternative, which I think does meet the demands of justice. It's a serious punishment, but yet you allow for them to repent of what they have done. If they are innocent, they have an opportunity to prove that innocence. That's not a matter that you have an irrevocable and unchangeable action by the state. So on that basis, I think it's very unwise, inappropriate for the government to execute those who are found guilty of murder.
So the correlation with war is really not relevant, is it?
No, of course not,
Yeah.
because in war, you do everything to prevent collateral damage.
Oh, that's a very good point, because we're not doing everything we can to prevent the collateral damage here.
No, you're taking the action.
Yeah, very
so
good.
It really, you're comparing apples and oranges.
Yes.
I would say.
So this has been a great pleasure. Thank you so much for being on the show with us, and we just are delighted that you could be here and share your wealth of knowledge and wisdom.
Well, it's good to be with you, and God bless you and all the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much. And thank you for being with us today on Crossroad Connection for this special time with Dr. Stephen Monsema. And we hope to see you again right here next week.